Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a weekend review, reviewing this weekend's Premier League and Championship action. Let's get straight into it with the North London derby, which finished Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1. Thomas Partey gave Arsenal the lead in the 20th minute before Harry Kane equalised in the 31st minute. Jesus put Arsenal ahead in the 49th minute. Emerson Royal was then sent off and Xhaka scored to give Arsenal the win. And yeah, this was a statement and deserved victory for Arsenal, winning against top 16, proving they can do it against big teams. For Tottenham, though, very disappointing. Moving on then to a bit of a ball draw at the Vitality, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 2. We had a VAR incident where the ref went over the screen, didn't overturn his decision, which is very rare, but except for that, wasn't too much to talk about, you'd have to say. On the whole, Brentford maybe deserving of the win more, probably draw fair result. To be honest, not the best Premier League game I've ever watched. Southampton 1, Everton 2 was the score at St Mary's on Saturday in the Premier League. Joe Aribo gave Southampton the lead in the 49th minute, bit of a dull first half, but yeah, it went crazy because just 3 minutes after that, Conor Cody equalised, and then McNeil in the 54th minute gave Everton the lead. And yes, Southampton, they pushed for the equaliser, and I think they maybe considered unfortunate to lose the game. It wasn't a game of match quality, but for Everton, big win. They seem to be grinding out results at the moment, which is big for them, of course. But for Southampton, disappointing result. Pressure goes on Ralph. Moving on then to Liverpool 3, Brighton 3 at Anfield. Trossard scored 2 goals in the first 17 minutes, put Brighton well in control under the new manager. But Firmino with 2 and then Webster own goal gave Liverpool 3-2 win. You thought they'd win it from there, but no, Trossard in the 83rd minute gave Brighton an equaliser. And what a great first game for De Zerbi. Liverpool pushed for the victory, no, we disappointed. Just those slow starts costing them once again. Moving on then to Fulham 1, Newcastle 4 at Craven Cottage. Chalobah was sent off in the 8th minute, and after that it was always going to be tough for Fulham, wasn't it? But Wilson, Almiron, Longstaff and Almiron again gave Newcastle a 4-goal lead. Bolly got an equaliser in the 88th minute, but in the end it was nothing more than an equaliser. Newcastle utterly dominant and fully deserving of the victory. Big win for Newcastle, but for Fulham maybe just a bit of coming down to earth after such a great start for them. Moving on then to Palace 1, Chelsea 2 at Selhurst Park. Usman Edward gave Palace lead in the 7th minute before Aubameyang equalised in the 38th minute. Must be his first goal for Chelsea. And it looked like the game was heading for a draw, but no, a wonderful strike from Conor Gallagher, former Palace man of course, gave Chelsea the victory. And what a big victory it was for Chelsea. Graham Potter's first in charge of them. And big win, that can give them big confidence. But for Palace, they'll be gutted though, especially with who the scorer was. Moving on then to West Ham 2, Wolves 0 at the London Stadium. Samaka and Bowen with the 2 goals either side of half time, and West Ham here for my money deserving the victory. And it's a big victory for them, isn't it? They were struggling, but finally got that win. Now gives them some much needed confidence. But for Wolves, it did mark the end of Bruno Lage's run. I don't know why he wasn't gone during the international break, to be honest, but disappointing display. They've form at the end of last season coming to this one. It's kind of hard to argue. But moving on into the Manchester derby, I'm just going to run through the goal scorers quickly. A Hattrick from Haaland, Hattrick from Foden. For United, a brace from Anthony and a goal from Martial got the brace. City, just absolutely incredible here, aren't they? We've shown what they can do. Haaland is just ridiculous. Sure, he's going to break every record, but for United, a reality check, totally outclassed. But City, at this point, you're kind of running out of superlatives for them. Moving on then to Leeds 0, Villa 0 at Ellen Road. Sinestra was sent off in the 48th minute for a really stupid second yellow. And after that, Villa pushed them for the winner, but in the end couldn't get it. And I think I'll be disappointed with that. Leeds happy to hold on for 10 men, but Villa, not a great result for them. It's a game which I don't think either side will be coming away too happy. Leeds mainly unhappy with Sinestra, and Villa really not to take advantage of them being down to 10 men. Moving on then to Monday's game, and it finished Leicester 4, Nottingham Forest 0. Just the result Leicester needed, really, after such a tough start to the season. Madison, Barnes, Madison and Daka with the goals. And yeah, Maddison just showing why he should be on the plane to Qatar for me. Just brilliant. And Leicester, this much needed confidence boost for them. They start with Brendan Rodgers, hopefully they'll reward them. But for Forest, I think they're showing that just spending a ridiculous amount of money maybe isn't always worth it potentially. Moving on then to the Championship games from this weekend, starting off on Friday night with Hull, who sat their manager like 7 hours before the game when you had 2 weeks before, just bloody madness, taking on Luton, and surprisingly Hull were totally outclassed. Jones with an own goal and Lansbury with a lovely goal as well, and Luton deserving the victory. Hull were poor, and yeah, really what more can you expect when you've got a club that's being run like that, to be quite honest. And yeah, simple victory for Luton, simple as you like really. And yeah, good win for them. They're starting to find some form now. But moving on then to Saturday's games, and starting off with West Brom, and yeah, they were losing 3-2 at home to Swansea. Surinada gave Swansea the lead in the 6th minute before Liverpool and Dean Garner made it 2-1 to West Brom, but Natchan scored to get the equaliser. Colin Grantner missed a penalty and Obafemi got the winner late on to give Swansea the victory. And yeah, what a big victory it was for Swansea. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. But yeah, for West Brom, another poor result. Bruce on borrowed time. But moving on then to Cardiff 1 and Burnley 1 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Tele with a goal for Burnley in the 48th minute before Robinson in the 90th minute gave Cardiff the equaliser, and Burnley will be frustrated at not seeing out a lead again, you'd have to say. But yeah, for Cardiff, really good point for them. Obviously, sacked Steve Morrison, not a bad return. But yeah, it is what it is really. Moving on then to Sunderland 0, Preston 0 at the Stadium of Light, and yeah, wasn't much of a note in this game. Sunderland probably the better team. Small at Preston, and they're almost like their lack of goal scoring threat kind of coming back to showing again. They had 5 shots on goal compared to Sunderland's 2, but still didn't do much. But yeah, tight at the back as normal. But yeah, it just kind of seems like a typical Preston game at the moment. Just bore the shit out of everyone really. But Sunderland, yeah, not bad for them, but they would have wanted another win here. Moving on then to Sheffield United 1, Birmingham 1 at the Bramall Lane. McBurney gave Sheffield United a lead in the 64th minute. Great goal scoring run for him, considering what he was on before this. And then you had Troy Deeney in the 70th minute, making it 1-1. And yeah, Sheffield United, I think they'll be disappointed not to come away from this one with 3 points, because they probably were the best team here. But it is what it is for them. They'll be frustrated. But yeah, still in a good position, but great point for Birmingham. Moving on then to Wigan 2, Rotherham 0 at the New York Stadium. Will Keane and Naylor with the goals for Wigan. And yeah, really good result for them. The post-Paul Warren era for Rotherham really doesn't start well. I think they'll just be devastated by his departure, really, and yeah, it will hit them hard. But yeah, they need to recover. But for Wigan, they're keeping on their incredible away record. I think they've got the best away record in the league, which is really quite something. I didn't really see that coming. But moving on then to Reading 3, Huddersfield 1 at the Medeski Stadium. Another record that I didn't see coming was Reading's incredibly strong start to the season, sitting in third. And yeah, it was a comfortable victory for them here. McIntyre with the first goal, Nichols with an own goal made it 2, Mate made it 3, before Leeds made it 3-1. And yeah, Reading once again easy. For the new Huddersfield manager, Fotheringham, I think this kind of just showed how much work needs to be done here, because they weren't great here at all. And Reading, you'd have to say, definitely the better team. But moving on then to Coventry, and they ended Chris Wilder's tenure as Middlesbrough manager by defeating them 1-0 at the Ricoh Arena, or whatever it's called now. Coventry, the only goal of the game came in the 17th minute from Victor Gokres, and after all that time they spent trying to sign them in some that'll be a hard hit for Borough, you feel. And yeah, Barrow outclassed here. Wilder, I would have given him more time, but it's not it's an understandable decision, isn't it? But moving on then to Bristol City 1, QPR 2 at Ashton Gate. Johansson and Roberts with the goals for QPR early on gave them a 2-0 lead. Narky Wells made it 1-2 in the 61st minute. But in the end, Bristol City couldn't find that equaliser. On the whole, I'd say QPR were deserving a victory here. And yeah, moves them into top 6. Bristol City lost 3 in a row. I didn't realise how bad their form was, but yeah, that's definitely going to be concerning for them, and they'll be looking to come back better strong in midweek. But moving on then to Norwich, and they defeated Blackpool 1-0 away from home. And yeah, a good win for Norwich. Tough place to go. Timu Puki with the only goal of the game in the 21st minute. And yeah, I mean, on the whole, I would say they were deserving of the victory. Tough place to go, but yeah, they'll be absolutely delighted with that. But for Blackpool, few lost on the trot now. I think this was almost not like a free hit, because Norwich aren't invincible, but it's always going to be a bit of a tough game for them, really. Moving on then to Blackburn, and they defeated Millwall 2-1 at Ewood Park. They always seem to win or draw Blackburn, don't they? Brereton and Dolan with the goals. Cooper also got a consolation goal, which is all it turned out to be. But yeah, for Blackburn, a big win. And yeah, now instead of just winning and losing all the time, they just need to find some momentum. And yeah, it's kind of a similar story with Millwall, isn't it? Yeah, just these two sides both really need to find a bit of consistency. Moving on then to Stoke 0, Watford 4 on Sunday in the Championship. And yeah, Stoke just thoroughly outclassed here. Goals from Sarr, Simmer, Davis and Bayo. And yeah, Watford really showing their class. What a great start for Slaven Bilic. Should maybe save them from the set for maybe another 1 or 2 games. But yeah, just a great performance for them. Stoke though, really poor, just looked disjointed really. I'm not concerned about them going down, but it's just been a really poor start to the season. Can't see them being near the pass or whatever. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for that short to like, share, subscribe, never subscribe down there. Follow us for daily football news and subscribe to my channel on screen. I greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.